Don't calculate too much.
Okay.
I know what I'm going to be when I'm 35 and 45. Just go what you,
With the
where your
flow.
heart takes you and what you enjoy doing. So that's what's going to, you're going to do good at that.
I had, vowed to save and then spend 1 year in struggle to get into this industry.
Each one of us is born with a unique set of talents and interests. And every job requires you to work hard. If you are interested in what you're doing, that work is not work. It's fun, it's joy, it's the kind of work I do.
That one thing taken away from me which I loved the most for whatever reasons, and I probably was not strong enough at that point in time to fight my father or my family, and pursue cricket. So those were sort of the dark times.
There is also a consideration which deals with the social context. Many people don't move from one place simply because they love the place, they love the community, they love the whole context in which they are situated.
I loved Infosys. I so loved Infosys. But the future is unpredictable and I would like that to be that way. All I can say is I am ready and willing to give more than my 100% to it because it is what I was going to do. But down I had this in me that 2 years down the line I'm going to save up some money for me to struggle in the journalism.
For a lot of people who take a look at my resume or who would ask me such questions, for them it will be very difficult to make sense, to see any logic behind the the jumps that I've made. To me, it has always been very linear, except the financial planning bit. Other than that, everything, be it the graduation in humanities, and after that, the traveling bit, or the photography bit, or the reading and writing, which I already liked, which were mostly hobbies. I was still in college. But it was, somewhere back in my head, I always knew that, that it's gonna be journalism, but when, I had no ideas about it.
I haven't met too many young people, even at the age of 20 or 25, who know for sure what their calling in life is. It's something that you discover as you stumble along. Very few of us know for sure कि मुझे तो astronaut बनना है, कि मुझे air hostess बनना है, कि क्या बनना है. That is something that comes as you go along,
I was working as a sub-editor with Adaan. It's a Delhi Tej Group subsidiary. Before that, I was working as a financial planner. Before that, I was working as a market analyst. Before that, I was traveling for like 8 months straight. Before that, well, I was still in college and I guess I was just sleeping. So
Abhishek is not an exception, because this is not something that you do, wake up one fine morning and say I'm going to switch careers and you do it the very next day. It involves research, involves validation, retraining, all of that. Some people who sort of jumped into it in a hurry without really taking all the pros and cons into account, and there's always an element of chance.
I researched about MI and then I planned that okay, I'll switch my job I'll get a higher paying, job for like a period of 6 months, and then from then on, I'll save for my MI course, the fees and my expenses for those 10 months, and then I thought I'll be open about it. Let's see what happens. And so I got a job with Ericsson. I switched, then I saved for some time, and then I joined Batch 10.
Always been a little bit of a traveler in my heart. This unique opportunity came my way. I got a chance to travel with a lot of Americans, Italians, British, Russians, a part of that group. And we traveled from Fatehgarh, which is a small town in UP, all the way to Banaras on Ganges. We constructed the boats from scratch, and yes, that journey sort of, lasted like 60 days.
While at Infosys, I joined Toastmasters, and Toastmasters is an international public speaking forum. We used to meet every Tuesday, and I used to get to do some public speaking, so that was one respite. Then Infosys has an in-house production channel called the Infy TV. I auditioned for that, and I did a few shows there. It was fun.
For women, it's a little tougher. Whereas for a man, he doesn't need to take your permission, a woman's permission, if he wants to switch jobs or career.
Today, pressures are increasing, and people face a dilemma, people face a conflict, and they have difficult times.
Pressure per se, no, I don't feel any pressure. I've never felt pressure for anything.
I face a lot of pressure from my family, from friends, good friends.
Do what your heart says. Always follow your heart, and keep your parents in the loop. Tell your friends about it. Ask them to agree with you, and if everyone's happy with what you're doing, you'll be happy with what you're doing.
Only those go with the flow who can't think for themselves. So I'd say that go wherever your heart says. Whether it's journalism, and don't worry about the fact that 2 years down the line, or 5 years down the line, or 20 years down the line, your passion for it would start dwindling. That's okay if it happens. Often it happens. I believe that love doesn't happen once. You can't act that you're in love. Either you're in love with something or you're not. If you are, well, let it last as long as it does. And once it's over, it's over.
You can do 25 years of something you're not enjoying, and then you think, my God, why did I do it? And then it's too late to change. If you don't do that, if you do and you're worried about it'll look bad, this, that, the other, I don't say change organizations. Like if you're doing a profession, stick to an organization if you're enjoying it.
You change things.
But don't say, look, I've got a better offer here. So, that is bad for you anyway. But changing a whole profession, like you wanted something, I might become an ad agency. Great fun.
I would always say go with your heart.